Hello, welcome to Best Movies channel. In this video, I introduce a crime thriller film. So stay with me. Se7en is a 1995 American crime thriller film directed by David Fincher and written by Andrew Kevin Walker. It stars Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, Gwyneth Paltrow, and John C. McGinley. Set in an unnamed, crime-ridden city, Se7en's narrative follows disenchanted, nearly retired detective William Somerset Freeman and his newly transferred partner David Mills, Pitt, as they try to stop a serial killer from executing a series of murders based on the 7 deadly sins. Walker, an aspiring writer, based Se7en on his experiences of moving from a suburban setting to New York City during a period of rising crime and drug addiction in the late 1980s. His script was optioned by an Italian film company but, following financial difficulties, the rights were sold to New Line Cinema. Studio executives were opposed to the script's bleak conclusion, insisting on a more mainstream and optimistic outcome. Fincher, determined to re-establish himself after a career setback, was mistakenly sent Walker's original script and, convinced of its merit, committed to directing the project if the original ending remained intact. Principal photography took place in Los Angeles between December 1994 and March 1995, on a $33 to $34 million budget. Se7en garnered middling test audience results and was not predicted to perform well due to its violent and mature content. However, it grossed $327.3 million worldwide, becoming a surprise success and the 7th highest grossing film of the year. Contemporaneous reviews were generally positive, praising the performances of the central cast and the bleak but unforgettable ending. Se7en revitalized Fincher's career and helped Pitt move from roles based on his appearance to more serious, dramatic roles. In the years since its release, consensus on the movie has generally shifted to critical acclaim. It has been influential in filmmaking, inspiring many imitators of its aesthetic, style, soundtrack, and premise of detectives investigating serial killers with distinctive methods and motives. The film's title sequence, which depicts the killer preparing for his actions later in the film, is considered an important design innovation that sparked a renewed interest in title design. While the film's twist ending has been named as one of the most shocking and unforgettable in cinematic history. In the rest of the video, I will tell the story of the film. In an unnamed city overcome with violent crime and corruption, disillusioned police detective William Somerset is 1 week from retirement. He is partnered with David Mills, a young, short-tempered, idealistic detective who recently relocated to the city with his wife, Tracy. On Monday, Somerset and Mills investigate an obese man who was forced to eat until his stomach burst, killing him. The detectives find the word gluttony written on a wall. Somerset, considering the case too extreme for his last investigation, asks to be reassigned but his request is denied. The following day, another victim, who had been forced to cut 1 pound (0.45 kg) of flesh from his body is found. The crime scene is marked green. Clues at the scene lead Somerset and Mills to the sloth victim, a drug-dealing pederast whom they find emaciated and restrained to a bed. Photographs reveal the victim was restrained for exactly 1 year. Somerset surmises the murders are based on the Christian concept of the 7 deadly sins. Tracy invites Somerset to share supper with her and Mills, helping the detectives overcome their mutual hostility. On Friday, Tracy meets privately with Somerset because she has no other acquaintances in the city. She reveals her unhappiness at moving there, especially after learning she is pregnant, and believes the city is an unfit place to raise a child. Somerset sympathizes with Tracy, having persuaded his former girlfriend to abort their child for similar reasons and regretting it ever since. He advises Tracy to inform Mills only if she intends to keep the child. A remark by Mills inspires Somerset to research libraries for anyone checking out books based on the 7 deadly sins, leading the pair to John Doe's apartment. Unexpectedly, Doe returns home and is pursued by Mills. Doe incapacitates Mills by striking him with a tire iron and holds him at gunpoint, but chooses to leave him alive and flees. The police investigate Doe's apartment, finding a large amount of cash, hundreds of Doe's notebooks, and photographs of some of his victims. The cache includes images of Somerset and Mills by a person they believed was an intrusive journalist at the sloth crime scene. Doe calls the apartment and speaks of his admiration for Mills. On Saturday, Somerset and Mills investigate the 4th victim, Lust, a prostitute who has been raped with a custom-made blade strap-on by a man held at gunpoint. The following day, the Pride victim is found a model whom Doe facially disfigured. Unable to live without her beauty, she committed suicide. As Somerset and Mills return to the police station, Doe arrives and surrenders himself. He threatens to plead insanity at his trial, potentially escaping punishment unless Mills and Somerset escort him to an undisclosed location where they will find the Envy and Wrath victims. During the drive, Doe says he believes God has chosen him to send a message about the ubiquity of, and apathy toward, sin. Doe has no remorse for his victims, believing the shocking murders will force society to pay attention to him. Doe leads the detectives to a remote location, where a delivery van approaches. Somerset intercepts the vehicle, whose driver was instructed to deliver a package to Mills at this specific time and location. Somerset is horrified at the package's contents and tells Mills to put down his gun. Doe reveals he himself represents envy because he envied Mills' life with Tracy, and implies the package contains her severed head. He urges Mills to become Wrath, telling him Tracy begged for her life and that of her unborn child, and takes pleasure in realizing Mills was unaware of the pregnancy. Despite Somerset's pleas, Mills, distraught and enraged, shoots Doe dead, completing Doe's plan. Police remove the catatonic Mills, and Somerset tells his captain he will be around. Somerset says in voiceover, Ernest Hemingway once wrote, "The world is a fine place, and worth fighting for." I agree with the second part. And finally, I hope you will see this movie completely and enjoy watching it. I would be happy if you could comment your opinion about this movie.